Hello and welcome to Divide and Conquer Overhauled version 7 Thalios Bridge faction overview. Today we're looking at Gondor, the Kingdom of Gondor, or the Stewardship of Gondor if you will, because there is no king yet. I'm not going to read this, you're all familiar with this at this point. I mean, who we're talking about here. This is not a standalone thing, it is after all just an overhaul. So, version 7, what are the big changes for Gondor? Well, a lot of things. Economic based and bodyguards are still the same, no new changes there, but economy and kind of military base of the castles is the big change, and new changes too. But let's first look at the faction as a whole. We look at Minas Tirith. As you can see, Minas Tirith is extremely good with money. You lose money though, because you have very expensive infantry, very expensive, but you make a lot of money. Minas Tirith is your capital and your most important province for a couple of reasons. One, it has the Anor Stone, which now officially in Divide and Conquer in version 7, in the Divide and Conquer Overhauled, it gets you a lot of income. I feel like the Palantirs are very weak in base stack. I don't like it. It's supposed to feel special. These are special stones, and if you can't do special mechanic, then let just be a basic income. Let it be a boost. So the basic stones have a 3k income boost. Those are in Minas Tirith, in Barad-dûr, and let me see, where is it? In the tower, I forgot, under towers. The second most expensive one is here in Orthanc, and the most expensive special building is in Lothlorien with 5,000. Yeah, Galadriel's mirror gives you 5,000. Very good. So what's next here? Well, first of all, huge cities also give you a massive boost of 1,000 gold income. Huge cities are special cities because that's the max tier, and they now give you 1,000 gold income. Gondor also now has a massive income from industry, aka blacksmiths. Let me just see where they are. Blacksmiths now give you very big income. It starts with 100 and it goes all the way to 300. You might say that's not a lot. Well, that's only one city. Let's go for all of them, because it's not just for towns, it's everywhere. Let me show you. It's everywhere. So Gondor's industry is quite massive, or it can be quite massive, but you need the industry to support the army after all. Now Gondor, the broader change for version 7, but for Gondor specifically, cities now have tradable industry resources that gives massive boost to said cities. Minas Tirith being one of them, and you can see here it has the special 1,000 gold income. That can be probably for either from textiles or from grain or from wine. Let me see. Just can we see one? I think it's probably wine. Let me just see where. There it is, winery. Gondor's winery are the worst industry resource for it. It only gives it the smallest boost, which is 1,000 gold. But if you go with the textiles, which is the best, it'll give like 2,000 gold income. It's massive boosts. Industry is now very much important to cities, and what it will provide to you basically. So you want to look for resources. If you want to go more min-maxy game, you actually want to look for resources that will give you. Let me see if we got 2 of those here. I'm guessing there's a granary. Let me see if we can find a granary, and textile probably. Let me just see. There's the grain, and it's either wine or or a textile industry. I just can't seem to find it. Doesn't matter, you get the point. So elves, for example, get silk as their most important resource, but we're gonna talk about that when we come to the elves. A couple more things. We have the custom bodyguards, of course. Our boy Captain General Boromir with his veterans, with the Osgiliath Veterans, which are your, well, there's an argument. It's either your best archery unit or your second best archery unit. Depends how you look at it. We have, of course, Stuart Denethor with his lead Wardens of the White Tower. Your most normal, powerful infantry unit, because we have, of course, the Fountain Guard, which is your legendary unit and definitely your most powerful unit. Gondor. We're going to talk about Gondor's changes to units when we go to the unit view, but all I can say is that your basic militia is horrible, and you want to recruit your fiefdom units early on. It's when you get to the good, the good units, the Gondor infantry, Gondor cavalry, and all that. That's when you wanna rely on your soldiers more than with your fiefdom units. And of course, we have Faramir with his Ithilian Rangers. This is why I said it's either your best or second. That's why I said the Osgiliath Veterans are your best or second best archer unit, because the Ithilian Rangers have 10 missile damage, which is quite amazing if you think about it, because Mordor doesn't get many good rangers. Mordor gets a lot of defense though. Mordor, don't mess with Mordor. They have armor. Not your level of armor, but they got armor. Let's see if we have anything else to talk about before we go to... Yeah, castles. I forgot to talk about castles. Castles now... Wait, no, not a castle. There we go, there's a castle. So castles now have much increased income... upkeep, sorry. 6. The goal is that I felt castles should be even more military oriented, and that's why they have now massive upkeep. In fact, if you look at the... Not the garrison quarters. Where is the... Oh, what's it called? Is the... Yeah, it is. See, so the castle halls, the top building of it has only 4 free upkeep, while the castle upgrade has 6 of them. The stronghold will actually have like 7. Yeah. So you want your castles are going to be garrisons to just save money, because I mean, even with all these massive incomes, you're losing. Oh boy, you're losing a lot of money. By the way, it's also been increased in the AI has increased King's Purse and the starting income, because I feel like the AI should have a little bit of a boost more. But it doesn't matter. If you're the player, this one very hard. You can recruit a couple of units and you're done. You're not gonna have much money left to fight Mordor, and Mordor has Mordor got some surprises for you. But you also get those same surprises when you play as Mordor, because I don't know how to make it specific for the AI. Let's go see if I can talk about anything else before we go to... I think that's it. I think there's nothing else to talk about. Yeah, there's nothing else to talk about. Okay, let's go look at the units. And here we are with the unit showcase. So first we're gonna start with the Territorial Guardsmen. You get only 123 of them. Very small number. Yes, Gondor doesn't have, like I said, Gondor doesn't have good militia. A 9 attack, which is low. It is low. It's nothing special. But 17 total defense with 8 armor and 5 shield, showcasing that they are more defensive than they are offensive. The 9 attack, you might be saying, oh, but that's not bad. Well, considering the fact that the on average armor of a good nation is going to be like 15 or 16, that is not that good. Plus it's a spear, very much more effective against cavalry. But it will do the job. Small number, but it will do the job of just purely defending your faction. Let me just see if I can see here something more specific. I don't think I can. I think this is all there for us to see. Next we have is the Gondor Militia, more aggressive than the Territorial Guardsmen, and in what way you might be wondering. Well, first of all, same attack, 9. It's a sword, so more effective in killing, but 6 charge bonus, definitely more effective at killing. With 14 total defense, 9 armor, so same as actually no, one more. My bad. 9 armor, but only 3 shield, so they are less defensive. More up close because higher armor, but less armor in general. But then we have the Lebanon Clansmen. As you can see, higher number, much better units than your Gondor Militia or your Territorial Guardsmen, but also 50 million times more expensive. In fact, let's talk about the cost. The cost of your territorial guardsmen is 2,080 gold. That's the recruitment cost. And the upkeep is 950. So that's the baseline. That's what we're talking about. That's the baseline. Next we have, of course, is the Gondor Militia. Gondor Militia cost is 2,115. So yeah, this is your most cheap unit, and it's not that good. It's better than, you know, some Wildman nations, but that's you know, what does it tell us? Either way, Gondor Militia is 2,115 and an upkeep of 960 gold. Next we're gonna look at the Laminum Clansmen. You're much better militia unit, but that's why they're also more rarer and also more expensive and also much better at anything. 9 attack and 7 charge. 8 attack is of course effective against armor. That's good. That is amazing for an early militia unit. Lebanon Clansmen, you should have them whenever you can. You should have them. Armor is also amazing. Just showcasing that these are your special units. These are your fighting units early on with 10 armor, 8 defense skill, and 2 shield. These are not for defense. They are all about the attack, all about flanking. You should use your territorial guardsmen to defend, and then these guys should be your flanking units to just tear up the enemy. We're talking the cost of 2,525. That's some serious money, and of course an upkeep of 1,180. Next we have is one of your only pike units, well, excluding these two. But you know, the Farm Guard is of course your legendary unit, so I'm not going to talk about that. Either way, Thalios Pikemen. Let me see if it's yes, it is. Good. Thalios Pikemen, 11 attack. Oh boy, I'm gonna tell you that that's not the strongest thing in the world, but 11 attack is amazing. 1 charge bonus, it should be 0, but I think you cannot make 0, it has to be 1. Either way, 1 charge bonus, armor of 12, so we're up in armor. These are all ups in armor. We're going lowest to one of the highest, but only defensive skill of 4. Thalios Pikemen are more, you know, just to hold the line. Archers will have a, you know, somewhat of a tough time piercing them. But they will have, you know, it will be decent. Cavalry will just destroy this. If you go from the back, if you flank them, or if you go from the back, the cavalry just destroys them. They're not that effective. They will hold line, but you should be careful how you deal with your Thalios Pikemen. The cost is of course 3,180. Big boy costs right there. Big boy costs. And upkeep of almost 1,500, 1,490 to be more precise. Just it's expensive. But you're Gondor, you know, you have these powerful units. I mean, this will kill any cavalry if it charges you. It will kill any maybe not the super elites of Dolamarov, the High Elves, the Noldor, or the Arun. But these will just, it will kill a lot of cavalry. Do not mess with the Thalios Pikemen, but you only get them, so you know, as anti-cavalry, this is your only option. Next, of course, is we have the Lebanon Marines, and they're not next on my spreadsheet of costs. Let me just go find where are they situated. Lebanon Marines are one of your javelin units. I think your only javelin unit, if I remember correctly, and they're good. They're good. They are your replacement for territorial guardsmen. They're amazing, but again, limited and quite expensive. We have 11 melee attack, 9 missile attack. That's a pretty good javelin. They look amazing, of course. 3 charge, which is nothing, and total defense of 18. They are less defense. They're, you know, on par with territorial guardsmen, which is the idea. These are just better territorial guardsmen. 8 armor, 5 defensive skill, and 5 shield. They will hold the line, as I've stated early on, with cost being 2,750 and the upkeep of 1,255. Very high cost. But then we come to your Archery Militia. Gondor is not much of a faction that relies on archery. I think it's one of the second tiers, if you ask me, about its archers. Let me just see where is the cost to it. There you go, there it is. So we have a 7 melee attack, 5 missile attack. Not bad missile attack, not bad. 5 is average. And total defense of 12. 7 in armor and 5 defensive skill. Very, very little armor. They will be destroyed if they get charged. And they have a very, you know, mediocre range of just 150 meters. That's really mediocre if you ask me. And of course we have a cost of 2040, which is actually not your cheapest, funny enough, and the upkeep of 930. Cavalry, Gondor is not known for its cavalry, and you're gonna see why. Gondor Militia Cavalry, 10 attack, 5 charge. Very low charge, decent attack. Even if they are spearmen, they're light cavalry, and for that reason they don't have a lot of charge. I designated cavalry to be if it's if it has high charge, if it's heavy, it has very large charge, higher than the attack even. But if it's light cavalry, it has a higher attack. And of course, 10 armor, 5 defense skill, and 3 shield. You know, if you can, just grab the fiefdom unit. If you can't, well, you know, it will do the job. Gondor Cavalry Militia will do the job. It's just that it's not that impressive. Considering the cost is 2,820 and the upkeep of 1,290, it's not that impressive. I'm sorry, but I'm trying to find, you know, where the costs are, because I want to make it more informative as it was before. But here we come to the bread and butter of Gondor. This line right here, the good units. This is where it all clicks into place for Gondor. We have the Gondor Spearmen with 14 attack, so we're talking way larger attack than Territorial Guardsmen of 9. These are already quite impressive with 14 attack, 3 charge, you know, small is small, but total defense of 32 with 20 armor, very good armor, 6 attack, 6 defense skill, and 6 shield. These, like I said, bread and butter. You want them as much as possible. You want your Gondor infantry to be on it, because if you don't have them, you're failing. But as much as they are amazing and they're, you know, available, decently speaking, they have a cost of 4,500 and an upkeep of 2,565. So the cost almost overshadows this whole the upkeep, sorry, overshadows this whole line almost. But it also overshadows with stats this whole line. It beats all of them with stats, as it should, if you ask me. Then we have, of course, is your aggressive side, or the attacking side of your Gondor infantry with the Gondor infantry. Same attack, because I do feel like it should have same attack. I do feel like it is they're basically having the same armor, same everything, so why not have the same attack. 20 armor, 5 defense skill, and 4 shield. Less shield, same armor, because they have the same, of course, chainmail and later on plate mail, but higher charge bonus and just higher attack. These two are your, like I said, bread and butter. They will hold the line, no questions asked, no trouble whatsoever. And the cost is almost the same. It is the same actually, 4,500, and the upkeep is 2,565. Like I said, high upkeep, but also highly worth it, as they will kill. They will kill a lot. But let's go to your arguably most powerful unit on this tier, being the actually no, the Peleth Cavalry might be even more powerful. But anyway, Lozarnic Axemen with 13 attack, effective against armor, and 6 charge. Boy, is that good. And total defense of 29 with 23 armor, so higher armor, but 6 defense skill. And what does this cost you, this great pleasure of wielding this powerful unit that's actually pretty rare, and you will not get a lot of them? Let me just see where the cost is. Honestly, like I said, I'm sorry, but I'm doing this on my phone. If I alt tab on my PC, the game just collapses sometimes and crashes, which is not admirable. Either way, I found the cost. The cost is 4,385, so we're there, and the upkeep is 2,005. So less upkeep, but the cost is the same. So choose. You know, do you want to go with your Gondor infantry, or do you want the Lozarnic Axemen if they are available? I would argue maybe Losonic Axeman is more valuable because, you know, Gondor Spearmen will hold the line while these guys will just chop up everything. But then we come to the Gondor Cavalry. Very, very bad cavalry if you ask me. 50 attack, I remember saying, why? This is heavy cavalry. Yes, but they have a sword. If you know anything about cavalry, shock cavalry always uses a lance, and heavy cavalry is always or usually shock cavalry, and these guys are more like prolonged melee cavalry, so I kind of modeled them after that. 15 attack, 5 charge, and total defense of 26 with 20 armor, so same armor as the Gondor infantry and Gondor spearmen, but less defense in defensive skill and shield. And the pleasure of them is, let me just see what the cost is. I'm sorry if this takes a lot of time, but like I said, it is what it is. Either way, the cost is 3,750 and the upkeep is 1,710. So the cheapest of the lineup? Yeah, I would say the cheapest, but still very, very effective for just your baseline units. And next we have is the Gondor Archers with 11 melee attack, 7 missile attack, so 2 attack higher than your militia archers. Don't worry, we're gonna see the true archery of Gondor when we go look at the fiefdom units. And total defense of 25, of course, with 20 armor and 5 defense skill. And let's just the cost is 3,600 and upkeep is 1,665. So maybe even cheaper. Maybe even cheaper. I'm gonna look at the other units when we finish with this side. Next we have is the Minas Ethyl Guardians, your heavy infantry. 21 attack is amazing. That's just amazing. 13 charge bonus. You know what you're supposed to do with them. And total defense of 36. This is one of the highest armored units in the game. Highest ones being the Elf, the Noldor Eternal Legion, and then we have all of the Dwarves. So this is up there in armor. 26 armor, 10 defense skill, and of course the costs are astronomical at this point, as they should be, if you ask me. Let me just find the cost. Minas Ethyl Guardians. The cost is 4,700. And the upkeep is 2,130. So massive cost. 200 difference. That's because these guys are 200 of them. These are 150, and they commanded that much of an increase in cost. A very good infantry unit. You want them. You want these units. That's all I'm gonna say. You want them. Next we have is the Wardens of the White Tower. Your, I would say, most powerful unit, just because it's so defensive. 21 attack, 4 charge, and total defense of 41. Boy, is that good. 26 armor, 9 defense skill, and 6 shield. This is it. This is your infantry. This is what you want your whole, if you can, your whole armies to be made out of. But, you know, good luck trying to do that because the cost is 4,570 and the upkeep is 2,050. Expensive. Amazing, get them whenever you can. Next we have is the Guards of Osgiliath. 150 units, as we can see, which is kind of the standard of late game infantry, with attack of 13, effective against armor, so that's amazing, and total defense of 45, 26 armor and 9 defense skill. These are pretty good halberds, pretty good. I'm not much the biggest fan of halberds, so I got nothing much to say about them. And honestly, if I have to pick my favorite unit from this roster, it's going to be Fountain Guard, and after that it's going to be Ozilia Veterans, because I just love the design. I love everything about them, honestly. Really cool unit. Let me just see where the cost is. There you go, Guards of Osgiliath. 4,400 is the cost, and the upkeep is 2050. So pretty much a standard cost as we see for now. Next we have is the Steel Guard. Your standard, standard elite unit. 19 attack, so lowest that we've seen so far. I might be saying, well, 13 is lower. Yes, but effective against armor, so it's like 26 more like it. Either way, 19 armor, 4 charge bonus, 19 armor, 19 attack, 4 charge bonus, which is very, very weak. And total defense of 41 with 26 armor, 9 defense skill, and 6 shield. So they rival Wardens of the White Tower, but they don't have the attack, which is why I'd say, you know, just grab them instead of the Citadel Guard. But if you have to, grab the Citadel Guard. Citadel Guard is, of course, cheaper, if I remember correctly, than the Wardens of the White Tower. Let me just see where they are. Yeah, well, actually, no, kind of the same price. 4,575, and the upkeep is 2070. Actually, more expensive upkeep. But just go with the Wardens of the White Tower, if you ask me. They are just better, in my opinion, just because the high attack. This is lower attack, so I would not pick them up. I guess, you know, as a defensive unit, they're really good. But again, this is also a defensive unit, so pick your poison, honestly. And now comes to my second favorite unit in the Gondor roster, Ozilia Veterans, with 16 mil attack, pretty good, 9 missile attack, amazing for Gondor, and total defense of 32 with 22 armor, 6 defense skill, and 4 shield. Yes, they have weaker armor, but they're archers. Not a lot of archers have 22 armor. Very little archer you have 22 armor. So that's the specialty of Osgiliath Veterans. They can fight in any way, shape, or form. They're the combined arms, basically. Archers, hand to hand, doesn't matter. They will perform greatly, and they're cheaper. Their cost is 4,350, and their upkeep is 2030. So very cheap upkeep compared to the other ones. Cheaper cost, but just such a good unit. I love them. These are my second favorite units. They look amazing, and then you upgrade them, they look even more amazing. So that's just a plus on plus on plus. Next we have is Sons of Numenor. These are more for Northern Dunedain, which I forgot. Anyway, we're gonna talk about them on the Northern Dunedain. Let's go look at the legendary unit, the Fountain Guard. My favorite unit in one of my favorite units in Lord of the Rings. I think my second favorite or third favorite unit in Lord of the Rings, and definitely one of my favorites in Divine Conqueror. 19 attack. It's a pike unit with 19 attack. This is the highest pike attack in the game. That's 3 times attack, by the way. So we're talking about 57 damage in total, with 34 total defense, with 28 armor. So the highest armor than any unit in your roster, and 6 defense skill. You might be saying that's not the highest total defense. It's not, but the armor is what just makes this unit so godlike. Well, the attack, of course, but the armor is 28 is your highest. Nothing will beat the armor of Fountain Guard in your roster. Nothing. Of course, armor piercing unit will do it, but that's armor piercing unit. What's the cost, by the way? It's a standard 8,000 cost and 6,000 upkeep, so extremely expensive. General's Bodyguard, 20 attack, pretty good. 5 charge bonus, and total defense of 44. That's a pretty good defense with 26 armor, 11 defense skill, and 7 shield. So yeah, your General Bodyguard is a better Citadel Guard, honestly. Where is it? There you go. Better Citadel Guard, which is not bad at all. Like that. I like the capes, by the way. So now that we're done with these kind of standard infantry, we're gonna talk about. Let's go look at. Am I going? No, I'm not. Let's go look at the rest of the roster that we just haven't talked about, which is more fiefdom units. Oh no, we can't look at them. Oh no. All right, Ithilian Rangers. Well, let's go talk about the Ithilian Rangers, because luckily I have the sheet in front, the list in front of me, so we can talk about it. Ithilian Rangers, there's 100 of them. That's good. That's really good. The melee is, sorry, not melee. The range is 220. The attack or missile attack is 10, as we've seen in the campaign overview. That's your best archer. Hands down, that's your best archer. If you want archers, you gotta go with Ithilian Rangers or Osgiliath Veterans. There's no other option for you. Blackroot Veil Archers are kind of an option, but if you want best of the best, Ithilian Rangers and the Osgiliath Veterans are your go-to-go. 10 armor and 8 defense skill, so not a lot of armor. They're not going to be tanky at all. That's why Osgiliath Veterans are there, to be tanky and be good archers. Cost is 2,870 and upkeep is 1,235. So I can showcase them, but they look amazing. I love the design of Gondor a lot. But speaking about Black Ludwig Archers, which in my opinion look better than Ithilian Rangers, because I love the white and the gray. It just looks way better. Let's go look at them. The stats. Just find them. Damn it, where are you? Sometimes you wish you have a better phone, but then you remember, where the fuck am I supposed to put that big of a phone? Then I shut up. Alright, so we have size is 142. Missile attack is 7. So this rivals the Gondor Archer. Where is it? The Gondor Archer in melee damage. And this is your militia. That's quite amazing for a militia. Unfortunately, melee attack is 12, which is, it's okay. Could be better, could be worse. But armor is truly where this unit falls. 8 armor and 5 defense skill. Do not allow them to be fired at. Do not allow them to fight at all. They should just fire arrows and nothing else. Gondor Mercenaries. Unfortunately, I don't have it on the spreadsheet, the mercenary changes, but these are basically heavy. Just think of it like this. These are heavy infantry, so they will have decent armor and decent attack. And they look amazing, but I don't know what the changes are, sorry. Pinaf Gallant Cavalry, your hands down best cavalry unit. I don't think anyone's gonna complain when I say that this is your top dog cavalry. 76 units, pretty good. 9 attack, but 15 charge. And this is what I talk about. Because this is your shock cavalry, they have the lances. That's why they have 15 charge bonus, but 9 attack. So you just want to charge. Just don't let them fight. Their secondary stats are very weak. 8 attack and 6 charge. But their armor is amazing. 20 armor, 4 defense skill, and 3 shield. They just outclass the Gondor cavalry. They just outclass it. Do not, if you have an option to recruit only a Pinaf Gallant cavalry, just recruit Pinaf Gallant cavalry. Don't even bother with Gondor cavalry. Just don't forfeit. But the cost is where this unit kind of takes a nosedive, with 4,400 cost and 2,025 upkeep. That's very expensive. So as we can see with Gondor, it's a jack of all trades. You have some very extraordinary units, but then you have some which are very much, screaming for "don't use me." Your militia is very weak. You have some outliers like the Thalios Pikemen and Black Ludwig Archers and maybe even Lebanon Clansmen, but this lineup is just, you're gonna have a bad early game. It's in the mid game where you start to kind of get online with these large unit sizes, with the large Gondor infantry, but you need to have your economy in check for that. Because if you don't have your economy in a good place, you're gonna fall quickly. The Fun Guard early on can be a saver, but it also can tank your country to the ground with 6,000 upkeep. That's hard. That's hard to maintain. A 6k just out of nowhere increase. And you get a lot of money from blacksmiths and from trade, but that takes time. It takes time to build up. And you're gonna have time in the early game because Mordor gets some nasty surprises against you, and yeah, it's gonna be tough. Either way, what should be your core army, theoretically speaking? If you wanna go mid game, Gondor Spearmen, Gondor Infantry, Black Ludwig Archers, or Ithilian Rangers, which are one you can recruit. Lozark Axemen and Pinaf Gallant Cavalry. That should be your core army structure and nothing else. Elites. Quite easy. Wardens of the White Tower for just defense and even attack. Ethyl Guardians for attack, definitely. Flanking. Osgiliath Veterans for missiles. And maybe some Ithilian Rangers. That just have those 4 as your core army, and I'm pretty sure nothing can stop you. If you want cavalry, you can go with Pinaf Gallant, but honestly, late game, Dolamarov and Rohan will just outclass you. Rohan gets some armor-piercing cavalry, which is just insane. You'll not be able to deal with that. Let's just say it like that. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this faction overview. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment. I greatly appreciate the support. Goodbye.